Hello and welcome to my home. My name is Angela Durrant. I'm a vocal coach based in Cardiff in Wales and working with people across the world via Skype and online and offline as well. So I wanted to bring you a bit of a New Year's kick up the bottom this morning. So no matter where you are or when you're listening to this, if you really want to achieve your aspirations and your singing goals this year, then please listen up, because I have made a couple of notes here and I want to talk to you about 3 things that exceptional singers do that average singers don't. And it is the difference. It's got nothing to do with sometimes beginner or advanced, but one will take you further than the other. You can move through the beginner stage into the advanced singer stage quicker than you realize when you listen to these tips today, and you do more than listen, you act on them. So 3 things that exceptional singers do that average singers don't. So what are they? First of all, the first thing I'm going to dive straight in today. The first thing that they do is they actually fall in love with the process of singing and process of learning, not the results of it. So let me explain to you what that means. I am the mother to a 12-year-old competitive Latin and ballroom dancer. Now, I don't have to beg, cajole, push, shove, bribe my daughter to go to her dance lessons and to work on her steps with her teachers, because she knows that every new step that she learns is a new level that she gets to go out, compete in, sometimes fail, sometimes succeed, but all the time practicing and embody into how she's dancing and who she's becoming as a dancer. So all of that process of learning is an embodiment to who she's becoming. And what she has understood about this, that sometimes singers don't understand, is that we fall in love with the result. Sure, she wants the trophy. Sure, she wants to stand on the podium. Of course, she wants everybody to tell her well done. But she's already got past that, because she's regularly out there competing and working on her dancing, and many of the times failing and not succeeding. It is not all joy and smiles. But what she's doing is she's taking that information and she's taking it back into the studio with her teacher, working on those steps, moving forward, and she has fallen in love with the process. What I see most of the times is singers want to have the result of singing. They want the feeling. We want the good feelings. The science has already proved that it actually increases your release of your happy endorphin hormones by 40%. That's 20% more than if you sat there and meditated in the morning. So singing is powerful, it's healthy, and it gives you great feelings. And that's not even when people tell you that you've got a good voice or that you've done well. But if we don't fall in love with the process of learning in order to get those good results, then we will always stay at the average level, no matter how much we want it, and we'll never go to exceptional. It's like going from good to great, except that it's not. Sometimes people think they're good, and really it's an average. It's average of what they can do. It might be good as to what somebody else can do, but it's average in terms of their real talent. Now, part of my work over the last 10 years of working with hundreds and hundreds of singers is that actually my job is to see, nurture, release talent. And I often see talent where sometimes the singer themselves hasn't yet believed in themselves enough to decide that they're going to really put the effort into the process. They're simply at that lack of belief stage, so that they are thinking to themselves, until I see it works, I won't believe it. I won't buy into the process. But you can see that is closing the gate after the horse has bolted. We're not going to get those results until we actually commit, not even just commit, fall in love with the process of learning. And unless you fall in love with the process of learning, That means being in a practice room, doing exercises, singing songs, feeling uncomfortable, not getting it right, learning the new steps, working it out until you fall in love with that aspect of it. You won't ever find the exceptional capabilities that you are really capable of. And I say that carefully because it's not about whether you're better or worse than somebody else. Sometimes it's not even whether you win the trophy or don't win the trophy. It's actually about your personal capabilities and your personal best and what you've got. There is nothing more frustrating than feeling like you have not expanded yourself and reached your full potential. It's why we set New Year's resolution goals. And until we really fall in love with the process of that, of attaining that goal, we will not see it, or we will not see it in its full capacity. So what's the second thing that exceptional singers do? Exceptional singers practice the positions. They are not just consistent, in other words, they're consistent with falling in love with the process. They collaborate. They will practice the positions. And what I really mean by that, because many people go, I should practice more, I should practice at all. Well, they have lumped that word into such a vagueness, they don't actually know what they're trying to practice. When I did a survey before Christmas, one of the biggest things that people said they wanted from me, and by the way, you're going to get it, is they wanted downloadable vocal exercises created by somebody that they could sing along. Okay, so let's just imagine, okay, get my book a minute, handed on a plate. Now, at the start of our journey, we often do have to have something handed to us on a plate. We need to collaborate with a mentor, with a teacher, with somebody that has an insight or can mirror or can actually feed back to us what we're doing. It's like a sports coach with a sportsman. They can't see when they're in the moment what they're doing. They need that collaboration. And you can have it online. You can have it offline. But you must have if you are going to become exceptional, or going past beginner through to middling, through to advanced. There's no way past it. We can't see our own nose. Now, if I give you a load of downloadable exercises, or you go get them off YouTube, you might like them, they might work, but it's all the better if you know why you're doing them and which positions you're practicing and which exercises to choose. So an exceptional singer has started to understand a little bit about the voice and about their voice. They've understood their strengths, they've understood their weaknesses, they've understood what areas of the voice they really need to create goals and mini challenges on and workouts in order to improve or understand more and get a handle on that area of the voice. And that's what I mean when I say practicing the positions. Because just kind of going for something, using a few songs, singing through until it feels a bit easier, doesn't give you any more knowledge about your own voice, about when it's working well, when it's not, than if you'd have done nothing at all. So when the gurus kind of put their very good marketing out and they say, don't practice exercises, it's better not to do any exercises at all than to the wrong ones, they're somewhat correct, okay? Because if you're going to push and shove at something past your own boundary level, not listening to your own voice, sure, you're going to compromise things. You might even hurt yourself. But really, we sometimes love to buy into that message, because when we buy into the message that you can have it on a plate or that you don't need to do it at all, and somebody can magic wand you with one little tip and suddenly you've got this voice of your dreams, or we cite people that never had a lesson in their life and then they're a great success somewhere, we're using all of those things as a massive excuse for understanding our own journey and for dealing with our own confusion and going from average to exceptional. Here's the thing, I'm going to tell you a personal story. Little bit vulnerable share here, so here's my personal story. Back in 2015, I had a very eminent teacher who was based over in the States, and I really, really respected him. He had worked with a lot of top celebrities over there, and he was training me in a particular vocal method. And I loved this teacher, and I really valued his opinion. And in one of our sessions together, we were doing some teacher training, and then he said to me, Angela, what are you going to sing? Now, I've been building my vocal practice for a number of years that year, a good couple of years, and I had a full practice of students, and I had very little time to even work on myself. And I truly thought that while I was paying all my attention to everybody else, that I was kind of, I could just put me on the back burner. I could just sort of work on everybody else's voice and not mine. And this is what he said to me. He went very quiet on the phone when I said I didn't have anything to sing, that I'd been really busy working with students. And he just said, look, Angela, the thing is, if you had an average voice, and if you were an average talent or an average teacher, I'd say, yeah, sure, hide behind your teaching, hide. Do the best you can. He said, but the thing is, you haven't got an average voice, you've got an exceptional voice, and you're selling yourself short. And we both went really quiet, because it was in the days when I didn't have very good internet access, when we were Skyping each other, and when I had to turn the video off so that we didn't just kind of freeze. So all I could do was hear him tell me the truth, call me up higher and say to me, Angela, you have got the goods to make something really great, even out of your own. Don't go hiding. Don't stay average when you've got the ability to become exceptional. Well, I had been hiding, and some of you have been doing just exactly that. You're doing the hiding, and the thing about it was, I kind of went sick with flu for a week, because it really hit me, because he told me the truth. And the biggest things, I thank that man for telling me the truth. I thank that man for telling me that I was hiding behind average when I had the ability to be exceptional. And I started to put more work in. I started to really think. I started to think about my love, or the things, falling in love with the process of my own voice and working that at the same time. And there is more to do with that. I've made a lot of changes to the business, which is why you're seeing this online, so that I'm not teaching so many people, so that I have chance to actually do the things that I can do at the highest level with people that want to go from average to exceptional and want to sing in an advanced way. And for those who want to and can't make the time, or they're not sure about the commitment, then there is the Online Singing Academy, where I can support you with excellent teaching, where you can do your step-by-step and actually make that journey yourself. So you can see it happens to all of us. It's not like I'm standing here spouting at you without a truth-telling moment. I've had it myself. But if we don't practice the positions, if we don't collaborate, if we don't have people to speak into our life, vocal coaches, mentors, people without an agenda to us, people are not going to just tell us that they love us or we've got a nice voice, because either they're not at a high enough standard, or that we don't want to hear the truth, because we will have to actually just break through those barriers and call ourselves into that future ability that we've got. You're not going to get to exceptional. You'll stay average. So the third one, okay. The third one is you have to practice the performance. Exceptional singers practice their performances before they're in the performance. It's called a rehearsal, and it's not just a band rehearsal where everybody plays and shouts at each other and nobody warms up. No. They're in the practice room in the same way that they are with their exercises, in the same way they are with their music. And they are choosing their moves. They are in the mirror. They are looking towards how they want to be on stage, not so they can go, here am I, my beautiful self, but actually so that they can realize that this is what the audience is seeing. And if I want the audience to dance with me, if I want to engage the audience, if I want people to become my super fans, or I want people to be engaged with the music that we are bringing forth, then actually what I have to do is I have to realize that I have to bring me to the table before I expect them to come to the table. It's a transference of energy, it's a dance, and it starts with you. And exceptional singers know this. Exceptional performers know this. They don't just wait until they get on the stage. Many people say to me all the time, but I'm brilliant when I just get on the stage. And to be fair, I used to be the same. I used to fall apart at the seams at auditions because I've got so much on it. But when I got the role and I was able to rehearse, yeah, I really brought it in performance. But I have to say I needed to get better at actually practicing the performance, practicing even the auditions so that I could get over what were my previous kind of things around it. Here's what I see singers doing that keeps them average, and they don't have to be average, is that they just kind of walk up onto the platforms and they turn up to rehearsal. First circle energy, all the energy falling back into me, not warmed up, half awake, half asleep. And then they got the microphones, or they just turn up, or they've just come from work, or they're just kind of there. And you can see straight away, the mind is not on the job, the energy is there, the focus is not there, the clarity is not there. They haven't moved themselves into an energetic state where they are focused and clear and able to just bring that energy. Now, if you can learn to do that in performance, if you can learn to do that in the silence of your practice room, it's why people do well when they actually work with somebody one-to-one in some way, because that person is so dedicated to them in that moment, you know, that they are actually pulling out their focus for the first time. But exceptional singers know that they use the collaboration of other people. They use their commitment to energy. They use their consistency, but they don't rely on it coming from somebody else. They actually know that it is their inner driver that is saying, I want this so much, I am going through uncomfortable, through average, into exceptional. So here are the 3 things that average singers say that keep them from being exceptional. They say, I can't practice. And then they justify that by going, I won't practice today or at all. And then they get to the stage where they don't know how to practice or what to practice. So I want to ask you to do one thing for yourself this year in order to make sure that you really do have some of the things that you say you want, okay? Don't just leave them on the to-do list or the to-dream list for another 12 months and then drop off the list in February saying life got in the way. You know what? Life doesn't get in the way. Life, we are life. You are life. You are living life right now. What you don't have is a plan. What you don't have is clarity. What you don't have yet is an understanding or some cheerleader or a mentor or a plan or just something, some gumption on the inside of you that says, I'm the plan. How do I work the plan? Okay. What exercises do I need to know? Where's the strengths in my voice? Where are the weaknesses? What's the areas in the next 3 weeks only that I need to be paying attention to? Do I fall apart at the seams when I get out in front of people? In which case, what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to find somewhere where I can find a safe place where I can learn how to get over that. If I'm average and I'm already out there performing and it's all right, you know, and I'm kind of just, you know, stroking myself, going, I'm doing a decent job. But really deep down, if you were to truly open up that can of worms, you're going, I want to be exceptional. I really want to be an advanced singer and I want to be exceptional. Okay. If that's what you actually really, really want, I want to feel exceptional. I want to feel alive. Realize that life is not getting in the way. Thinking is. Beliefs, old thoughts, old habits, the way that we don't follow through on our commitments. We promise we'll practice. Well, we can't practice. We don't know what to practice, how to practice, what things to practice, what we're aiming for. So you can see straight away when we're in those situations, we're going to fall apart at the seams pretty quickly. And then we're just going to come up with a bunch of excuses that we don't really want to come up with, but it just seems the easiest option. And here's the biggest excuses, right? No time, no money, no energy, too much effort. And all of that truly is that we have some areas that we're unclear in. Could be our goals, could be our expectations are incorrect for what we're trying to do. But whatever it is this year, you're needing to go from average to exceptional. And if you want to go from average to exceptional, whether you're a beginner and you want to move through to advanced, or whether you're advanced and you want to become exceptional, then we've got a way forward for you. So if you already are a singer that's pretty average, pretty good, you know, and you want to become exceptional, then you need to just simply send me an email, angela@angeladurrant.com, angela@angeladurrant.com. Okay, send me an email. Okay, and tell me, what is it that you want to become exceptional at? Where do you think the problems are? It's okay, okay? There's a plan for you, I promise you. And then there's also our Singing Academy. And the Singing Academy is going into its second year now. And we've had an amazing group of people that have tested what works and what doesn't. I've understood what works for people and what doesn't. So if you are at a stage where you are ready to put your toe in the water, whether you want a step-by-step approach or whether you want a fast-track approach, then again, you will want to be in the Singing Academy so that you can progress this year with a supportive community around you, with some truth-telling and some ability to actually pick the right exercises, understand what's going on with your voice and move forward. So from me to you, have a happy new year and make it a good one. Isn't this the time that you absolutely kick it into touch and now start saying, it's time for me to look towards exceptional? No more with the excuses. I know I need a plan. I know sometimes I'm going to get disappointed. I know sometimes I'm going to have to follow through when I'm not used to it because I'm not used to keeping my word, even to myself. But now is the time. If that's you, then please give me a message because really now is your time. You can do it. See you next time.